Hey y'all, how
Hey,
y'all
everybody. Hey,
doing?
Facebook.
Should have my little, where my phone at? I just had my phone. Oh, it's right there. I was gonna put my put yours on. So this is the after party with the Browns. We had our anniversary / debt-free party. And it was very nice. We had a little setup. We had decorations. We had balloons. We had our music playing. It was so good. We had our sparkling juice, and it was so good. And so we just shared a little bit. Hey y'all, we shared a little bit about our reconciliation journey. What else we shared?
Our growth in
our marriage. We shared a little bit of that. We also shared kind of where we started off in the beginning of our journey with counseling and how my husband felt. And one of the things we talked about is how by faith I started paying Miss Yvette. Like before he even wanted to start counseling, I think we started counseling in May. I started paying Miss Yvette in March or April because he didn't want to do counseling. He didn't want to do counseling with no pastors, so I had to be very strategic. I had to do a lot of praying. and just really get into that place where I trusted God that by the time it was my payments were in, that I could do counseling, because at the time we didn't have our money together. You know, he wanted to have his own money, and I didn't want to have my own money, but, you know, he wasn't ready to put his money together with me. So, by the time I put in money to pay for counseling, he was ready to do counseling. And you glad, ain't you?
Yeah, I'm glad. I didn't want to do counseling, but thank God I did, you know. We sit back now and we talk about, you know, from the beginning to now, where we were and where we are now. And like I say, I'm just thankful, you know, that I was able to work on myself and my marriage, and I'm blessed to say that you know, I'm very happy, you know, and I've learned and grown and matured, you know, spiritual husband, you know, father, you know, and I'm just thankful. You know.
So we just wanted to come on here real quick and just, you know, we getting ready to do an after party. We didn't even get to eat, y'all, because it started pouring down rain, because we had party set out on our little deck, and we had our tent up, and we had our sparkling juice, and we had our music out, and it was just nice. And, you know, the different people came on Zoom and we were able to talk and kind of share. People were able to ask questions, and we kind of shared our journey a little bit. We also shared that as of today, we are completely credit card debt free. So we paid off our last credit card today. And so one of the things that we plan on doing to keep ourselves out of credit card debt is I'm not going to be charging a whole bunch of stuff. God has told me that if I have to charge something, make sure I can pay it off in 2 weeks. So it's not going to be something that I just go out and get just to begin, because I worked hard, y'all. We was like almost $10,000 in credit card debt. And it wasn't because of him. It was, I ain't gonna say it wasn't because of him. The reason I say that, because even though I did the charging, he just he isn't involved in kind of what I do for spending, because he know I'm good with paying the bills and stuff like that. But we talked about, yeah, Nikki, you missed it. It was good. We talked about how, you know, we need to communicate better with the bills. He trusts me enough to pay the bills and to make sure everything is done. But we talked about him needing to know, you know, how much in the bank account. You know, he just worked, put the money in the account. I pay the bills, I save, and that's that's it. So unless I go and tell him, babe, I have to actually literally tell him, babe, let's sit down, look and see what's in the account. So if something come up, you know how much money we got in here. And he'd be like, I know we good. I know we good. Listen, if something come up, bill need to be paid, and I can't do it. I want to make sure he know how to do it. So we talked about that. Someone asked where we were when we got back together first. Was he married or was he divorced or all that? We talked about a little bit about the journey from maybe about 8 months up until we reconciled. What else we talked about?
How God brought us back together, what else? Like I said, we just pretty much just talked about our journey, the ups and the downs, the struggles that we had to make,
Yeah, and my husband has really, really matured spiritually and naturally. Even like over the last 2 weeks, I kind of share how I can see that even though I don't see him reading his Bible or doing spiritual stuff, I can tell that he's growing. One thing how I know he's growing, and I don't know if I shared this, but a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, I talked about how one morning we were in bed Sunday morning getting ready to get up, and he was just like, here, listen to this. And he was over there listening to, gospel music. And I'm like, what? Because normally he'll listen to, R&B and stuff like that. Thanks, Kim. And so lately, that's what he's kind of been listening to. And I'm like, I ain't been pushing him. And it used to hurt my nerves. Like, we get in the car, and he just put it on a different station. And Lord said, do not say nothing, just pray. But if it was kind of crazy, how, can we change it? He'll change it. But he kind of he's growing. And one thing I realize is, even though we're growing in different, how can I say it? Different areas and different, I don't know how to explain it. At different rates, he's still growing. And, my mentor, my spiritual mom said, we have to rejoice in the little things. And so to me, even though would be little, to me is a lot, because it's almost like God is putting a spirit of acceleration. And at first I was kind of concerned when the quarantine happened, because my husband, he go to work, he come home and he get in on a little space. He communicate with us, but he's up at 3:00 in the morning. And it's like over the last month or so, we just have gotten closer.
Talk more.
We talk more at night. We communicate, because that's one of the areas that we're constantly working on. Before we were not communicating. We were not spending time with each other. We just couldn't have a conversation. And then some of it is because our communication lines are different. And some of it is because he just didn't want to talk. And so now we're in a place where we're talking more about different things. We're becoming more one on different things. We're supporting each other more on different things. And so, babe, hold on, my head. And so we just want to come on here and just do a little after party. We really appreciate y'all. I'm thankful. Today we're celebrating so many different things. Yesterday was our, I say 22nd 11, because in the eyes of God, we always been married. No matter what we, dealt with or whatever we went through, God looked at us, we've been married 22 years. But legally, yes, Kim. So legally, we've been remarried, reconciled 11 years. And so we celebrated that today. Today was 21 years I've been a believer, giving my life back to Christ. And, it's just been some good things happening with us, happening with our marriage, happening with our kids.
Mm-hmm. Thank God.
Like I said, we're our next goal for our debt is to pay off our taxes / school loans, because I have school loans. A lot of the debt we have was created before we got married, and my school loans, and then credit card debts was kind of before and after. So we kind of working together, and we coming up with a plan to kind of get out of debt, because I'm telling you, I hate bills. I hate being in debt. And God was saying that during this time is a time to really minimize your debt because of everything that's going on. Get as much out of debt as possible. And so we're doing that and working towards buying a house. We got pre-approved for a house, did a contract and everything. We would have been in our new house on the 31st of last month. And Holy Spirit dealt with my husband and said that wasn't the house. And I'm so glad that I, listened to my husband, because the builder of the house wasn't a reputable builder. And we didn't know what it was, but I know he just started feeling uneasy about it. Then I prayed one day, and I remember praying. I was walking around my house praying. I said, Lord, if this ain't meant for us to get this house, let something come up with the loan. And something came up with the loan where we got approved, but they was trying to say that we made too much money. And I'm like, what? Mm-hmm. And so I was like, that's God. And so we got out of it, and now we realize that God just wanted us to have something bigger and better. And so we're working towards that and just taking our time. Because I told the Lord this too. I said, I don't want to have any credit card debt moving into our new house. So I thank God for order. I thank God for listening to the Holy Spirit. I thank God for moving by grace and mercy. So we just want to come on here, do a little after party, and just say, love you all. We're grateful for what God is doing. We'll probably be sharing a little bit more, because God is kind of pushing me out to share our journey of reconciliation, share our journey about our divorce, share our journey about just what we went through. Them 10 years, it was not good at all for him or for me. So, but God brought us back together because he knew that I wanted to be right with him. And so it only took one person. And because I believe what the word said about reconciliation, I believe what the word said about adultery, I believe what the word said about divorce, when I lined up, he brought my husband home. And so I'm grateful for that. So I love you all. We have not ate because it started raining. Y'all, we had it so nice outside. We had balloons. We had the music going. And then all of a sudden, we had a tent up. It was just so nice. And so we ended up coming back in the house in the prayer room. And we didn't even get to eat. So we getting ready to go eat. We had a server, everything. Thank you, Natalie, for your support. And so it was good. It was good. So I love you all, and I will see y'all later. So have a good night.
Thank you.